Today on Judge Faith, guy meets girl on Facebook and then buys her a car?
I thought she was pretty attractive, so I would contact her through the inbox.
He didn't buy the car, he co-signed for the car.
How many times had you seen her in person, met her before buying a car for her?
And later, a sister battles her brother in court after he fails to repair her roof.
My brother said, well, I would like the job. He said he's done many roofs. He's had a lot of experience on doing roofs.
You don't know what I've been through with these people.
I went to Bible study yesterday, and I'm not gonna go there today.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff LaSawn Boyd says he had a crush on the defendant, but that's not the reason he co-signed on a car with her. And now she's messed up his good credit. He's suing for various expenses related to a car he purchased. Defendant Cherie Hodge says she doesn't owe any money because LaSawn overreacted when she missed a payment and took the car back.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Boyd versus Hodge.
Thank you, Juan. LaSawn Boyd,
Yes, ma'am.
you are suing the defendant Cherie Hodge
Yes, ma'am.
for $1,997. You say she owes you for various expenses related to a car you purchased.
Yes.
So I just want to break down your lawsuit, make sure I understand this. $772 for a tow and tickets.
Yes.
$375 to replace a mirror that was broken on the car.
Yes.
$200 in partial car payment and insurance, and $650 for missed work.
Yes.
So as I understand it, the two of you met on Facebook around November of 2013?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
We was talking for a little while through Facebook. I never met her like actually in person. I thought she was pretty attractive, so I would contact her through the inbox and see if she wanted to hang out.
Okay.
So sometime in March, we seen each other on the train for the first time.
You just ran into each other randomly on the train in New York?
Yes. And
And you recognized her from her Facebook photo?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
So we didn't say anything to each other that day.
You didn't say anything to each other on the train?
No, we actually...
Did you see him on the train? And you knew he was your Facebook friend that you've been talking to? And the two of you just didn't say a word?
I actually text her through the Facebook.
So after the fact, you said, I just saw you on the train.
No, I said, is that you? And
You're kidding.
and she responded. She said, if I'm cute, then yes. If not, then no.
So you guys are on the train writing to each other on Facebook?
Yes.
Interesting.
So,
See, this is the way people communicate these days. They feel comfortable texting and communicating, doing everything on their phones. And so there you are, you see her in person, and you decide you're just gonna send her a DM on Facebook.
yes.
Let's fast forward to the next year, not even a year later, July of 2014, you buy this car for her, right?
Yes.
How many times had you seen her in person, met her before buying a car for her?
I've seen her twice.
Twice. So you guys didn't have anything going on at that point when he bought the car for you?
We were hanging out.
What does that mean? Were the two of you romantically involved?
We were.
So you liked her and the two of you had something going on?
Yes.
Because that's the only way this makes sense.
I wouldn't say we had anything going on because I seen her twice. And basically it was just like I seen you twice type of situation.
So here we are. You saw her twice, you buy her car in July of 2014.
Okay.
What was the agreement about the car? And why couldn't she buy her own car?
Her credit wasn't good enough.
Oh, so that's a good reason for you to buy someone else a car. They don't pay their bills, they don't have good credit, so let me put my name on the line, right?
I mean, I bought my car as in the process of me buying the car, the dealer tells me that if I refer someone, that they will pay me $500. So she contacts the dealership. The guy tells her your credit isn't good enough, but if I help her,
as in cosign,
as a cosigner,
she can get a car.
She can get the car. So I go down there.
And you agreed to do that?
I agreed to co-sign. I didn't know that they was gonna actually make me sign for the whole car.
And you say absolutely not, right?
No, I didn't.
What'd you say?
I said yes.
Okay. 'Cause I like Cherie and I want her to be my girlfriend.
Coming up, love is blind and expensive.
A few months down the line, I had told him, like, I won't be able to keep up with it because it was, it was becoming a lot.
Was she late on her payments?
Every month.
And later, a family is divided over a dispute about a roof repair job.
Did he ever do the job?
He did not do the job. He did a small area.
You know, I'm not a roofer by no means. I've never roofed a house before in my life.
Plaintiff LaSawn Boyd says Cherie is irresponsible with money, and he regrets co-signing on a car with her. He's suing for various expenses related to a car he purchased. Defendant Cherie Hyde says she doesn't owe any money because LaSawn took the car back.
So here we are, you get the car. The agreement is, although it's in his name, you will pay for the notes and the insurance.
Yes.
But that didn't work out because he eventually took the car back. So what happened? Why did he come back and get it?
As the months went on, the insurance went up, more payments, more money had to be kicked out.
Was she late on her payments?
Every month.
Okay, and so that's affecting your credit?
Yes.
Right? You take the car back, and what do you find out about the tickets and the mirror, which is what you're really suing for?
Yes. I didn't even know there were tickets on the car because...
Did you get tickets on the car?
I didn't get the tickets on the car. My friend that had the car when I wanted to get the rearview mirror fixed before he came and got it had collected the tickets, and I didn't know.
Show me proof of the tickets and for the cost of the mirror. What happened to the relationship between the two of you? Did that just all fall to shambles because of this car?
Yes, the relationship was ruined for the simple fact that she would get angry at me for being angry at her for being irresponsible.
And you think that's gonna help you get money from somebody?
No, it wasn't, but at the time I was just angry and I couldn't understand, like, why are you being this way to someone that basically helped you?
Because you don't know her. You don't know her well enough to commit to having someone pay you monthly payments over the course of years. You don't know her. Why bind yourself to someone for years over a car? Because you weren't thinking with the right brain. That's what the real problem is. So here's what we're going to do. You're asking her to pay you for $650 for missed work. I'm not going to order her to do that, but...
Can I say something?
Sure.
The day that I got the boot on my car, I woke up early in the morning to go to work. So
you have a boot on your car or the car she was driving?
When I took that car back from her, I had to drive that car for myself because I had lost my last car.
You know I lived in New York for a number of years, right?
Okay.
Do you know I know about public transportation and the trains?
Yes.
You don't have to take her car to get to work. You can take the train. There's a subway every 3 blocks in New York City.
I work in Long Island, ma'am.
So she's not responsible for that. Here's my judgment in this case. You are responsible for the tow tickets and replacing the mirror. That's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor, $1,147. You know what? You got to eat some of the cost. You made a silly decision. I'm not going to order her to pay for a week's worth of you missing work. $1,147 judgment for the plaintiff.
I learned I would never co-sign for anyone because it's not a good idea.
I think Judge Faith's ruling was very fair. I take full responsibility on my behalf, when the car was in my possession.
Plaintiff Cheryl Jones says she paid her brother in advance for a roofing job on her fixer-upper home because she trusted him to complete the work. She's suing for a refund for roof work. She's accompanied in court today by Ronnie Lynch. Defendant Robert Conley says he got busy on another project and doesn't owe his sister any money because he was surprised to learn she'd hired somebody else to finish the job. He's accompanied in court today by his wife, Vicki Conley.
Cheryl Jones,
Yes.
you are suing the defendant Robert Conley
Yes.
for $4,655 for a refund for labor and materials for roof repairs he was
Yes.
supposed to do on your home. Okay, are the two of you related?
That's my sister.
Okay, so your brother and sister.
Yes, that's
Okay.
my brother.
Okay.
As children, we were very, very close.
What about as adults?
We had a little shaky relationship.
So what happened here?
I bought a fixer-upper home, and it needed a new roof. My brother said, I would like the job. He said, I need the money. And without question, of course, he said he's done many roofs. He's had a lot of experience on doing roofs.
Okay. So, Mr. Conley, you have a conversation with your sister about this. When did that conversation take place?
Probably 2014, early spring.
Okay, and what was that conversation, sir?
She was going to have her roof put on, and I went over and I told her, I said, hey, I really need the money, and I'd like to do the job for you. And she said, okay, and then she wrote me a check for $4,000, and I went out and bought the stuff.
She wrote you a check for $4,000, and was that the total amount you paid him?
Yes, he said he was needing money. He wanted to know if I would go ahead and write the check then because he was in need of money. Well, I didn't even hesitate. I went ahead and wrote the check and then went on my way to Tennessee.
Okay, and the agreed upon total price for this project was what?
$4,700.
$4,700, and you paid him $4,000 of that $4,700.
I paid him $4,700.
You paid him the total amount of $4,700.
Yes. Yeah.
Did he ever do the job?
He did not do the job. He did a small area.
What did you tell her?
I told her it would take me whenever I had time to do it, because at that time, just so lucky, I got a job working for a farmer, and we were in the fields in the morning and didn't get out till dark.
You just didn't work on it at all because you got busy?
No, we was discussed, and I told her I would do the job, in time.
What does that mean?
It means whenever I had the time.
But that's not okay with her.
It was at the time.
Well, no, because we're here. Do you know why we're here?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's a nut.
Really? Did you
That's
ever do
not
the job?
nice.
Huh?
Did you ever do the job?
I've done some of it, yes.
Okay, so how is she a nut? She paid you $4,700 and
She
you
didn't pay me
did some of the work
$4,700.
whenever you had the time. How is she a nut?
I told her that as soon as the weather cleared up, I would start, and then I would do it.
And so did you do that, sir?
Yeah, and that was agreed upon. That as long as I got her roof done, before it got cold and stuff, that it would do it. I'm not a roofer by no means. I've never roofed a house before in my life.
Your Honor, he told me.
But you offered to do the job? You took the money?
Yeah.
He told me.
You said what you needed to say to get the $4,700. That's what it sounds like to me. After you got the money, you didn't care one way or the other when, if, and how the roof got done.
I believe
Am I
you're
right?
wrong.
I'm sorry?
I believe you're wrong.
I don't care what you believe. What you believe is completely irrelevant to me. In fact, if you had any sense, you wouldn't even be here being sued by your own sister. So keep your comments about what you believe to yourself, because when you walk through those doors, it's what I believe that matters in this courtroom.
Well, it's your courtroom, but what I'm saying is that what you're thinking is wrong.
And I'm going to tell you again, what you think does not matter.
Coming up on Judge Faith, questions are raised about the real reason for the siblings' roof repair dispute.
He put a fence in his backyard that same summer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Not with the money she paid me. I done it with the money with my tax refunds and money that I earned from my job.
And what else did he do in his house?
Plaintiff Cheryl Jones says her brother had over 5 months to complete the roofing job. She's suing for a refund for roof work. Defendant Robert Conley says he got busy on another project and doesn't owe his sister any money.
Forget everything she said. I'm asking you a question. Did you complete the job?
No, I did not.
Okay, so give her money back.
She'll have to wait till I get the money.
No, she's not. She's not waiting another day.
Well, then
It's going to happen today.
Well, then she had to take me to court and sue me again because I don't have it.
That's what we're here for today, Conley.
Huh?
That's what we're here for today. You're
Yeah,
getting
I know.
sued already.
I know.
Ma'am, stand up, please. Who are you, ma'am?
His wife, her sister-in-law.
Good luck.
Everything was fine about the roof. We've been to her house since the roof. He went over and helped her put up a privacy fence. Then, my grandson's birthday is in December. My daughter-in-law tried to call her to invite her, and her house phone had been disconnected.
So she wasn't invited to the party.
That was on February 20th of this year. She filed the paperwork February 25th or 28th.
You think that this lawsuit, after she's paid your husband $4,700.
There was not $4,700. There was $4,000.
I have it.
May I see it, please?
Yes, you may.
Do you concede that she paid you $4,700?
No, it was $4,000.
No.
I'm sure it was $4,000.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, it was $4,700. Here's the check that you cashed for $4,700. So perhaps you don't remember.
Oh, well, I'm sorry then. I'm sorry. I apologize to her too. But I thought it was $4,000.
But let me ask you something. You eventually hired someone else to come in and do this job?
Yes.
When was that? What month and what year?
It was at the end of August of 2014.
And how much did you pay someone to complete the job?
$1,000.
And were you aware that someone else came in and finished this job, sir?
After it was all done, yeah, I was aware of that.
Okay, and at that point, you still feel that you don't owe her money because she had to pay someone else for labor to come in and complete the job that you did not finish?
No.
And why is that?
Because I would have finished it, you know.
Has she given you more time?
Yeah.
What do you want to say, sir?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say?
All I can say is that the shingles have been laying up there for so long that they're starting to melt.
Yeah, no, it's 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months. That's more than a reasonable amount of time for Mr. Conley to complete this job. I mean, you call your sister a nut.
You don't know what I've been through with these people.
I don't know what you've been through, but I know that you spent that $4,700. You didn't have a problem spending the money they paid you to do the work, and you didn't do it.
He put a fence in his backyard that same summer.
And what else did he do in his house?
In the winter, this past winter, they redid the whole kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you've
not
had
with
some
your
spare
money.
time and some money to do some remodeling in
That
your
wasn't
house.
with my money, but
Just not hers.
That
Your
was
Honor.
not with her, not with the money she paid me. I done it with the money with my tax refunds and money that I earned for my job.
What did you do with the money she paid you?
I paid bills.
He was not working at the time, had not been working.
That's not her problem. Whether or not he's working, and hey, if he's not working, then he should have all the time in the world to complete the project, right? He should have all the time in the world to
So you
complete the
didn't-
project
you didn't hear me,
that
did
she's
you, Judge?
already paid for.
Your Honor.
What did you say?
I said you didn't hear me, did you, Judge?
You know what? I'm gonna get you out of here because you about to. Let me tell you something. He's
Because
about
I
to make
told
me
you
go
I
there,
got a
and I'm not
job.
gonna go there today. I went to Bible study yesterday, and I'm not gonna go there today. You about to make me go there today.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. So it's $4,700 the plaintiff paid to the defendant. We're going to subtract $1,000 for materials you can see was purchased. In addition, I'm going to subtract $200 for labor. That leaves $3,500 that you owe the plaintiff, sir. Now, I'm going to say something because I think you're rude, I think you're disrespectful, and I think you show no remorse whatsoever for taking advantage of your sister. You may be able to treat her like that, but when you come into this courtroom, you will respect this courtroom and you're going to respect this judgment. You pay her $3,500. Have a good day.
Today on Judge Faith, Atlanta college students come to court to collect on their roommates' overdue rent.
She talks about getting her hair done, and she found somebody that would do it for $150. I'm like, okay, wait, you still owe me $150.
I wasn't the only one being irresponsible. Listen, you're all struggling. You're all college students. No one has any money. I've been there. I've done that. I've lived through it. But at the same time, you have responsibilities and obligations.
And later, a Minneapolis mom claims a used car she bought from an online ad turned out to be a lemon.
Not even 48 hours after I purchased the vehicle, the transmission goes out.
Her mechanics told us that the engine and the transmission are solid.
Listen, if you sell cars on Craigslist and you flip cars, that's fine. In your mind, you may be a car dealer, but it sounds like you just flip cars.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And Now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiffs Brian Stills and Courtney Foster say their former roommate was always late on rent, forcing them to break their lease early. They're suing for unpaid rent, utilities, and loss of deposit. Defendant Lataris Butler says she owes nothing because her roommates were aware of her financial situation and she didn't want to terminate the lease early.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Stills and Foster versus Butler.
Thank you, Juan. Brian Stills.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Courtney Foster.
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, help me with your name, Lataris?
Lataris Butler, yes.
Lataris Butler, for $1,577. You say she owes you as a part of a roommate agreement for unpaid rent, utilities, and loss of deposit?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stills, why don't I start with you?
Okay.
Tell me how you met Miss Butler and how the three of you decided to move into an apartment together.
Basically, I knew Courtney from school. We both went to Georgia State. Ty was Courtney's roommate at the time. We decided to go to spring break together, Panama City, and Courtney was looking for an apartment.
Me and Ty were roommates before.
Okay.
We did stay in student housing. We had separate leases there, though. In May, we started looking for apartments, and the price of living in Atlanta is kind of expensive in the inner city. So we decided to bring Brian in as a good, we knew he was
And get a
responsible.
3-bedroom apartment.
Right.
How much was the rent in the 3-bedroom apartment?
It was $1,099.
$1,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Wow. At that rate, I could afford to live in a mansion like Juan. It's pretty good.
It was pretty cheap.
And the security deposit was how much?
$300.
$300. And so the agreement was you would split it 3 ways.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said that this is what you wrote in your complaint about spring break, about Miss Butler. You said she was wild and slightly irresponsible, but I didn't think much of it because it was spring break.
Correct.
So what does slightly irresponsible mean to you?
I saw her get drunk. I saw her throw up multiple times. So basically, I saw a lot of different sides of her.
But you deemed this as slightly irresponsible, still okay to room with and get an apartment with, right?
Correct.
Okay, so here we are. What month and year do you sign the lease?
We signed the lease in July of 2015.
And the agreement is you would split the... How was spring break, by the way?
It was great.
It was fine? You survived? You survived? Okay, so from what you remember, it was great.
It was fine.
Okay.
Everyone had fun. I mean, I wasn't the only one being irresponsible. I mean,
Slightly irresponsible.
Yeah, slightly irresponsible, yes.
So getting beyond spring break, we're now July 2015. You guys get the great deal on a 12-month lease, but you don't last very long in this lease.
Yes, ma'am.
What happens?
We paid our deposit, and the leasing office said, hey, we know you paid your deposit, but so we don't have to prorate you guys, could you go ahead and pay August? So seeing that I was able to pay August and they were not, I decided to, hey guys, I'll go ahead and pay August.
So you covered August for everyone?
Yes.
And did you pay him back?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay him back?
Yes, ma'am, I did. It took
Okay.
a while, but yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what months do you say she missed? Why are you suing her for 3 months of rent?
Well, the 3 months comes down to November, December, and January.
Okay.
But before then, I guess October. And this is where, she still owes me money from the August when I paid for everybody's rent.
Okay, so she had not paid you, you hadn't paid August at that point?
I didn't pay him back fully, but later on that month, yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay.
In full.
And she, so we're all sitting down talking, and she talks about getting her hair done. And she found somebody that would do it for $150. I'm like, okay, wait, you still owe me $150, so that's messed up. That
So
you
did
gotta
she
get
get
your
her hair
done
done with the $150 or did she
No,
pay you?
ma'am, I gave it to him.
no,
I'm
ma'am.
asking him a question. Why do you keep talking out of turn?
Because I feel like it's not fair,
Well,
and I'm upset
you will
about it.
get
I
your opportunity
apologize.
to speak. I promise you will.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up, the roommates reveal a questionable contract in court.
You signed an agreement to pay these 3 months. So you're agreeing to this. You don't have to do that. You don't have to sign the agreement.
Honestly.
What?
I didn't read it, which wasn't smart.
Well, that's not their problem.
And later, a dispute over a used car that turned out to be undrivable.
The mechanic said that there's errors internally with the transmission and that it needs to be replaced.
Bad transmission.
Correct.
Plaintiffs Brian Stills and Courtney Foster say their former roommate's irresponsible behavior forced them to break their lease early. They're suing for unpaid rent, utilities, and loss of deposit. Defendant Lataris Butler says she owes nothing because she always, eventually, paid her rent.
Take me to what happens at the end of October.
Well, we have another talk at the end of October. Apparently her hours were getting cut at her job. So we were like, well, how about we all just go ahead and move back home since we can't pay your part every month for like 10 more months. So she decides to agree with us.
But you only paid her portion for 1 month at this point, and that was August, right?
Brian
That's correct,
only
but
paid her
we
part.
also had issues of money, like for utilities and stuff.
There was also issue with you. So were you struggling during this time period?
Yes, ma'am, and they knew that prior to this. They knew I was struggling. They knew, okay, she doesn't make a lot. I worked fast food, so I didn't make very much. I made $7.75 an hour.
So what decision do you come to about the lease? You decide to break the lease, right? Each of you will pay for 1 month of rent to get out of the lease, and you'll all go your separate ways and live somewhere else.
Right.
They decided
Did you have a discussion?
Ma'am.
We actually agreed to this. Ty agreed as well as us to go ahead and put in the agreement.
She also
Wait,
signed
you
the
signed an
paper.
agreement? You signed this agreement?
She did.
They told me that if I didn't sign the agreement, we would have to pay an extra month, which of course I
Let me
didn't
see the
have.
agreement.
incorrect.
Well, this was at this point though. You signed an agreement to pay these 3 months, so you're agreeing to this. You don't have to do that. You
I
don't
didn't
have to
read
sign
it,
the agreement.
honestly.
What?
I didn't read it, which wasn't smart.
Well, that's not their problem. And you're old enough to know if you put your signature on a document, you need to know what it says. So I don't accept that excuse. That's like saying the dog ate my homework. It's not acceptable in this courtroom.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
I see two
Yeah.
signatures on
I didn't
here.
sign.
Okay, so you didn't sign it.
Correct.
Okay. But the two of you sign it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Although I didn't sign, I went to go talk to the leasing management, and basically they said, since you put it in now, you have 2 months. So you have November and December, and you have to pay for January.
Right.
Which
So you
because
stayed there November and December.
Correct.
Right.
So the only
We
month
did.
that you did not live there was January.
Correct.
Okay, so you lived there November and
No,
December?
ma'am.
No.
Where'd
I left
you
in
go?
November. Honestly, I was barely there because I was pretty much living with my friend because he would help me. I was still like having all my stuff there, and I was still
So you were
paying on
basically-
bills and everything. But
Okay.
it's just I didn't have enough. I wasn't making enough, as they knew I was struggling.
Listen, you're all struggling. You're all college students. No one has any money. I've been there. I've done that. I've lived through it. Okay, you're all struggling. I get it. But at the same time, you have responsibilities and obligations. And under the law, you're still a part of this lease. You signed this agreement that you would vacate at the end of December. Your stuff's still there anyway, so by law, technically you're still there even if you're not spending the night there. So under these circumstances, you have to pay your portion of the rent for those 3 months. You know, you don't get to live anywhere for free. It happens. We all have struggles. We all go through and we're in college, but this is what you owe. They decided to bring the lawsuit. I have to enforce the law. $1,577, verdict for the plaintiffs.
I really wish we could still be friends, but you have to separate business from personal.
I feel like it was really messed up the way things went because I did think that they were my best friends because that's how they acted, but I don't want anything else to do with them.
Plaintiff Carissa Olson says the defendant sold her a used car with a bad transmission and then promised to compensate her for it. She's suing for a payment refund for a car. She's accompanied in court today by Dustin Wilbur. Defendant Isaiah Way says he doesn't owe any money because Carissa signed a no-warranty contract.
Carissa Olson,
Yes, Your Honor.
you were suing the defendant, Isaiah Way,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $2,700. You want to be refunded for a car you purchased from him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what happened? When did you purchase the car?
I purchased the vehicle on April 13th, 2016.
What kind of car is it?
It's a Ford Freestyle 2006.
Okay, and so did you find an ad on Craigslist? Or
I did find an ad on Craigslist from.
do you have a copy of it?
I don't have a copy of it, no, Your Honor. It just said a 2006 Ford Freestyle, willing to sell for $3,500. And I was very interested in seeing this vehicle. So I contacted the defendant April 10th.
Okay, and why were you selling the car, sir? Was this your car that you were driving?
I'm a car dealer.
Okay, you have your own car dealership?
That's correct, Your Honor. It's located in Ramsey, Minnesota.
And where'd you meet him to look at the car?
Target parking lot.
Why would she go to the Target parking lot to meet you if you have a car dealership?
Your Honor, my car dealership is really far away from where I live. It's in Brooklyn Park. It's a very small dealership. It's, we parked about 5 cars there. And what I do, I have a big house, and I can park like 12 cars.
Sir, listen, if you sell cars on Craigslist and you flip cars, that's fine. But don't call yourself a car dealer if you're not, because the laws are very different. That's why I'm asking you these factual questions. In your mind, you may be a car dealer, but it sounds like you just flip cars.
Well, I am a dealer because I have a dealer.
You have a license?
Yes.
Okay, so you are a licensed dealer. You sell cars.
Yes, Your Honor.
And your primary source for advertising is Craigslist.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you know he was a car dealer?
No, not at the time, Your Honor.
During this entire transaction, did you think you were buying a car from an individual or a dealer?
Individual.
Okay, so you meet him at the Target parking lot, and what happened?
Basically, everything seemed fine. I mean, it had about 135,000 miles on it, so I was assuming, there was wear and tear with a used vehicle. So I contacted him that evening, and I said I was very interested in purchasing the vehicle but before I do, I really want to get a diagnostic for it.
Okay, great. Most people don't, so you decided to take it to a mechanic.
Yep.
What's the asking price for the car?
The asking price was $3,500.
How much did you end up paying for it?
$2,700.
$2,700. So the next day you take it to a mechanic to get it checked out, and were you happy with the results?
I was happy with the results.
So the mechanic told you it was good to go?
Yep.
Okay, and so you buy the car for $2,700. Why are we here? What happened?
Not even 48 hours after I purchased the vehicle, the transmission goes out. The gears start shifting on me while I'm transporting my children from school back home. And it just basically, I was pushing the gas and it was acting as though it was in neutral. So the gears weren't properly working at the time. So I took it back to the place that I got the oil change at, because right after I purchased the vehicle, I got maintenance on it. I got an oil change and alignment. And so I just took it back there because they said, oh, it's safe to go, it's safe to drive. I was planning on taking it out of state, so I wanted to make sure that this was going to be a reliable car. What happened was that it wasn't reliable.
What did the mechanic tell you?
The mechanic said that there's errors internally with the transmission and that it needs to be replaced.
Bad transmission?
Correct.
Did you sign a written agreement to buy this car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, may I see a copy of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he tell you anything at all about the transmission, ma'am, when you purchased the car?
No, ma'am. He said that he had no knowledge of any, the signature of his is on the back of that title, just the transaction of the release of the title.
Well, I know, but was there anything, you don't have the Craigslist ask, do you have anything else about the agreement when you purchased the car?
This is the as is no warranty that I retrieved because once I had told him that about the transmission, I let him know right after I found out from the mechanic, and that he said that he's very sorry that happened to me and that he's going to be looking for a transmission for me.
When did you sign this as is no
I did
warranty?
not sign it.
Well, there's a signature on here. Whose signature is it? This is your copy, right?
Yes, ma'am. But there was no signature on it, and that was the first time that I've seen that.
Well, there is a signature on it. You don't see the signature at the bottom? This is a copy, but there is a signature where it says customer signature at the bottom.
No, I didn't.
Do you have the original?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I see the original, please? And this was in your paperwork?
This was in my paperwork.
Coming up on Judge Faith, will the witness reveal that information was withheld about the condition of the used car?
Everything seemed okay, but I felt like there was something wrong or something fishy about the car.
Plaintiff Carissa Olson says she bought the car under false knowledge. She's suing for a payment refund of a car. Defendant Isaiah Way says he doesn't owe any money because the used car was sold as is.
You say you've never seen this document before?
No, but I didn't, not to my knowledge, no. But I remember, I signed multiple papers as well when we were transferring the title.
You signed multiple papers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is the original. And yeah, there's a signature at the bottom. You're saying you didn't sign this? And it's here. It's on this document. It's just light because it's a copy.
Oh, this is my signature, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you signed that you would purchase this car as is, no warranty. What do you have to say? Were you aware that there were any issues with the transmission?
No, Your Honor. But when she requested that we take the transmission to her shop, we took the vehicle over there, and her mechanics told us that the engine and the transmission are solid.
They're solid?
Yes, solid, which means it's good. I should have the report, the inspection report from the mechanic that did an inspection.
May I see it?
Yes.
The part that you want to show me?
It said transmission type auto, okay.
And this is the report that you received a copy of as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is a mechanic that you chose, right?
This is a mechanic that was referred to me by a person that used to work for the shop as well.
But not from him, not from
no.
anyone he
No,
knows.
Your
So this
Honor.
is a completely independent mechanic that looked at the car?
This is a completely independent shop. It's called Affordable Auto
Right, but
Service.
it has no association with the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, what do you have to say, sir? Who are you?
I'm Dustin Wilbur, Chris's boyfriend.
Okay.
I was there from the day one, from the get-go. I test drove it when we first got it. Everything seemed okay, but I felt like there was something wrong or something fishy about the car. When we talked to him later on that day, he was very willing to go down on the price. I just thought that was really odd.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Here's the issue, because these used car sales can be tricky. Private sales, as is, unless the private person makes a specific warranty, it is by default as is, even if you don't sign something. But here we're dealing with the dealer. In your state, as a dealer, there are specific warranties that come with certain cars unless you actually sign a form that says it's an as-is sale, which you did in this case. Even if you didn't sign as is, the limit law doesn't apply to your car because it has too many miles on it and it's too old. The limit law actually stops applying when you get to a certain number of miles in your state. And this, with over 130,000 miles, it completely surpassed their mileage limit that applies in your state. So the only way you can get your money back on this is if you can prove to me that the defendant committed some kind of fraud. And when you have in front of me a report from a mechanic that he has absolutely nothing to do with, didn't refer you to, doesn't know, that said the transmission was good, you can't prove to me that he intentionally tried to defraud you when a mechanic looked at the car and said that the car was okay. And the reason why the laws are set up the way they are is because courts don't want to have to relitigate used car sales. A car with 130,000 miles and it's 10 years old, it's bound to have a ton of problems. You did the right thing by taking it to a mechanic. Most people don't, but still, by law, he's not required to refund you the money for the car. In this case, verdict is for the defendant.
Today on Judge Faith, longtime friends from college find themselves on opposite sides of a story about an unpaid loan.
I was barely getting myself to work and barely keeping food on the table for my family. I looked down at my phone and it's pictures of the defendant on an airplane going to Vegas.
When you're spending the weekend in Vegas and your daughter's paying for it, someone in the family has money.
And later, a family and their landlord disagree over the definition of acceptable living conditions.
The shower doors fell on my lady in the shower and my kids. He told me he's on vacation up in the snow. He wasn't concerned about that.
He's been extorting me since day one.
I don't know on what planet he would be responsible for that, but he's not.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Kelly Rozelle says she was frustrated when the defendant cut off communication after she asked to be paid back. She's suing for a loan. Defendants Audra Heinzman and Michael Dunn Jr. say they owe nothing because they were in need, and the money was a gift from a longtime friend.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Rozelle versus Heinzman and Dunn Jr.
Thank you, Juan. Kelly Rozelle.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant Audra Heinzman and Michael Dunn Jr. for $2,500 money you say they owe you.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me how you know Ms. Heinzman and Mr. Dunn.
I attended high school with Mr. Dunn, but we were reintroduced when they got together. I've been friends with Nikki since college. We were college roommates. I was in her wedding, and I am also the godparent to her children.
All right, so what's going on? Why'd you have to sue her in court?
I never thought it would come to this, but in November of 2014, she and I have been having conversations on the phone just about life, things that happen, good, bad, and indifferent, like we always
What city
did.
were you in at the time?
At the time, I was in Louisville, Kentucky.
And where were you living, ma'am?
I was in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati, and were the two of you living together at the time?
Yes.
Okay, and she's correct about how long she's known
Yes.
the two of you in a relationship?
Yes.
But now you're dating, right?
Yes.
Okay, why did you smile when I said that?
Because I don't know, I guess because you say dating, that sounds like a kid, but we are together.
Okay, how would you describe your relationship then?
I'm just more involved with each other.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, this particular conversation, she's telling me that she's having some issues paying some bills, rent, and some different things. So she's talking, and you're beating around the bush, and I'm thinking, okay, what's the real issue? So eventually, Mike gets on the phone, and he said, Nikki, she's not gonna ask you. We need your help. Not a problem. I'm there because I'm that kind of friend.
How much did he say they needed?
They needed $2,500.
Had you ever given or loaned money to your friends before?
Yes, so it wasn't a problem to me.
And they paid you back in the
Yes.
past?
We continued our conversation, and we settled on the deal that since it was November, we were going into the holidays, we could wait until after the first of the year and start a repayment plan. We all agreed.
Okay, so what do you say the conversation was?
That I need $2,500 or we're gonna be out on the streets and I need it by XYZ time. And meanwhile, trying to figure out how I was gonna get this money because at the time he had some health issues and I was the only one working.
Did you have a conversation with her at that point about paying her back at all?
Well, I'll pay you back as soon as I get on my feet, as soon as I get in a better position, that I would make sure I get the money back to you. But I'm right now, today, still not in a better position. Our family is still displaced. We are still not doing the best.
And here we are over a year later.
Yes.
And you haven't paid her anything? Because you say you can't afford it?
I can't afford it, no.
They say they're still struggling. Do you not believe that?
The issue I had was earlier on in this issue, I was sitting at work and I got a notification on my phone because my phone is connected to my Facebook account.
Okay.
I looked down at my phone and it's pictures of the defendant and the co-defendant's daughter on an airplane taking selfies going to Vegas. Now imagine my surprise when I see this.
When was that?
When was the Floyd Mayweather fight? It was that weekend.
They went to the fight? Who went to the Floyd Mayweather fight?
My 29-year-old daughter. We didn't go to the fight.
And who else?
We didn't go to the fight. We did not go to the fight. That wasn't the thing.
It was you and
her.
You went to Vegas?
Yes. His daughter, which I guess my stepdaughter, whatever you want to call it, she did it as a gift to me, as a surprise. I didn't even know I was going to Vegas until a week before.
Okay.
And that's the way I found out. I didn't spend any monies. I didn't buy any tickets. I didn't do anything.
Okay.
It was as a gift to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she did that for me.
And you don't believe that?
I don't know what the circumstances were that led to the trip itself. I just took it as a slap in the face. Here you stand, you owe me, and you're on a trip.
But you had talked about the money, her paying you back. Had you asked, hey, when can you start?
Like we said, we would start after the first of the year. The 3rd of January, I sent a text with all of my banking information telling her, just make deposits. I can't tell you what's comfortable for you, but just let me know that you're thinking about me. Whatever you can deposit, that's fine.
And what did she say in response to that?
Nothing. It took 30 days for me to hear something back.
And what was their response?
She said, I'm doing the best I can. I got a lot going on.
Well, that sounds reasonable. No?
That was the best we could do right then.
Well, the best you could do was zero.
My friend is very, very stubborn. Extremely.
She's stubborn?
Very.
How?
I mean, it's about her money, but I mean, I know her from some other things. When I talked to her, I told her everything that was going on. So it wasn't a secret to her that I still was at a point where I was at zero. I was barely getting myself to work and barely keeping food on the table for my family.
Coming up, the friends disagree over the details of the loan repayment plan.
Just tell me something. I couldn't literally strong arm her and take the money.
She can pick up the phone and call me as well.
So she has to text and call you?
And later, a family confronts the landlord they claim kept them living in a house of horrors.
I got sewage coming up in the front of the house.
I had told the property manager, have someone go out, see what needs to be done. Mr. Cameron kicked them out of the property and wouldn't allow them to see all the rest of the issues.
Plaintiff Kelly Rizal says all she wants is for Audra to pay her back. She's suing for a loan. Defendants Audra Heinzman and Michael Dunn Jr. say they owe nothing because the money was a gift.
I understand that you were going through financial difficulty, but here we are a year and a half later. You haven't paid $50, nothing. So how long is too long to wait
That
for
would be
her?
up to her. That would be up to her. But basically,
Well, she's decided that
she
now
wants
is the
her
time.
money right now. But
Do you have any of the text messages between the two?
I do.
I don't think she's stubborn. I don't think she's unreasonable. I don't think we'd be here if you had made what appeared to be a good faith effort to pay some of this money back
Well, I
before
was good
today.
faith talking to her, and she knew.
So she sends you the text in January with her account information. Just text me whenever you make a deposit. You don't respond to this for 45 days, so she texts you again and said, I was just gonna see how long you would go without communicating. And then you text her back. And she's just saying, I want you to communicate, because all of a sudden you disappear. You know how when people owe you money, they don't want to be around you, so they just kind of disappear.
But Your
and
Honor, I
stop
hadn't disappeared.
talking
She
to
knew,
you.
just like she was texting me, she could pick up the phone and call me as well. And
Well,
granted,
so
I
she
own
has
her-
to text
No,
and
no,
call
no,
you
granted, she
to get a response?
No.
All I wanted her to do was just to communicate with me. Not having the money, we couldn't change that. Just tell me something. I couldn't literally strong arm her and take the money. We've been friends too long and we should be able to communicate, but you need to be trying to fix this with me, not the other way around.
Okay, what do you have to say in response to that?
I was just going through a whole lot at that time, Your Honor. Just a whole lot between trying to hold my house together, and she knows me as well as I know her.
You can't sit here and say, like, you don't know where your next meal is going to come from when you're spending the weekend in Vegas and your daughter's paying for it. Someone in the family has money. I think that you have a good friend here, because a lot of friends won't lend people money. I won't lend a friend money unless I have it to give away. That's just the way I am, because money, $2,500, should never come between people who have been friends since high school for 30 years. $2,500, and now you're being sued and you're in court. Where the three of you go from here, that's up to you, but you have to pay back the $2,500. Verdict in this case is for the plaintiff.
I missed your friendship. I hate it had to come to this, and who knows where we'll go from here.
Never get in this situation. Never get in a situation where you need that kind of help.
Plaintiff Kenneth Cameron says he was forced to break his lease early because the house he rented was in terrible condition, and the defendant refused to make the necessary repairs. He's suing for a refund of rent, security deposit, and moving expenses. He's accompanied in court today by his girlfriend, Makivia Brown, and the co-plaintiff, Shirley Brown. Defendant Christopher Herbert says he doesn't owe any money because he fixed the problems with the home, and Kenneth was a demanding bully who was impossible to please.
Kenneth Cameron
Yes, ma'am.
and Shirley Brown.
Yes.
Okay, and who are you, ma'am?
Makivia Brown.
And what's your relationship to the plaintiff?
That's my fiance.
And that's your mother?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. You are suing the defendant, Christopher Herbert,
Yes, Judge.
for $8,370. You want to be refunded for rent you paid him, a security deposit, and moving expenses?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll start with you, Mr. Cameron. Why don't you tell me what's going on here? So you leased property from the defendant starting when?
In November of the 18th, prior 2 weeks before
Of
that.
what year, sir?
Of 2015.
And when did you move out of the property?
2016, January 18th.
January 2016. And can you describe this property for me, sir?
It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Elk Grove, California.
And how long had you owned it when they leased it from you in November?
About 14 months.
14 months. And did you have a renter there prior to them
Yes,
moving
Judge.
in? So tell me what happened.
So on the 18th, I moved in, and prior to the 18th, 2 days or 3 days later, all of a sudden I have a sewer problem. I got sewage coming up in the front of the house. I got people calling me, telling me to take tissue and wipe it and put it in a garbage bag.
People calling you? What
yes,
people?
His attendants from that works for him.
The people who work for him, you mean like a property manager?
Yes, ma'am. Called me and told me to put the tissue in a bag. They're not worried about the feces coming up. They worried about me putting tissue in a bag and putting it in the garbage.
Tell me, when was the first time you notified Mr. Herbert that there was a problem with plumbing?
On the 20th. The 21st.
2 days after you moved in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you tell me what happened. Let's talk about the first 2 weeks he was there.
Apparently someone had flushed something down the toilet that caused it to need to be snaked and to be dealt with. So I paid the rush fee, the emergency fee, paid the extra to have someone come out immediately. This was all happened and done through the property manager, so they sent someone out right away before even notifying me because it was an emergency. Then after 2 weeks, Mr. Cameron asked for $5,000 to fix things that he claimed were wrong with the property.
He asked you for $5,000?
Correct, to fix it.
Oh, he was going to fix it himself?
He wanted to fix stuff. He said he was a licensed contractor and asked for money to fix small issues around the house.
Okay.
So being reasonable, I said, okay, I had told the property manager, have someone go out, check it out, see what needs to be done. Mr. Cameron kicked them out of the property and wouldn't allow them to see all the rest of the issues.
And when was that?
That was about 3.5 weeks to 4 weeks after he moved in.
I told him that if he give me $2,000, I will fix the stuff myself so I can stay here. I did not never mention $5,000, and that $2,000 was for buying the material.
Okay, and did you get that from the property manager, this $5,000?
That was the number he quoted me that Mr. Cameron was asking for.
Okay, and where's the property manager? Is he here today?
No, he's not.
Does he still work for you?
No, he does not.
Why?
He quit, ma'am.
What was the issue with the property manager?
He was just a weird, interesting person. I mean,
Okay.
it just didn't, it didn't work out. You know, I perceived a lot of the issues that were going on with the property were because of him, but in all honesty, it seems like it was more the issue with the plaintiff than the property manager.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was Kenneth a demanding tenant or was Christopher an absentee landlord?
He told me he's on vacation up in the snow. He wasn't concerned about that.
Plaintiffs Kenneth Cameron and Shirley Brown say they were forced to break their lease because their rental home was in horrible condition. They're suing for a refund of rent, security deposit, and moving expenses. Defendant Christopher Herbert says he owes nothing because he did his best to make his former tenants happy.
And what do you say his issue was with the property manager?
Well, his issue with the property management because the property management didn't have licensed people doing work in the house. You don't take liquid nail and glue a toilet down. That's what this contractor company did. He took liquid nail and screwed and put the shower doors on. This man didn't even come to the house to see. And then on top of that, the shower doors fell on my lady in the shower and my kids. He told me he's on vacation up in the snow. He wasn't concerned about that.
Did you have a written lease, by the way?
Yes, ma'am, right here.
May I see it? How much did he give you for security deposit?
$1,525.
How much of the security deposit did you keep?
I would have to look through my notes.
He kept all of it. He sent me $1,100.
He said he returned a portion of it.
He sent $1,100 back.
He sent you $1,100
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
security deposit back? So
Yes.
he didn't keep all of it?
No, he didn't keep all of it.
He kept $425
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
security deposit. Okay. Let me look at these photos.
See, that's a photo of the master bathroom. See, the floor was broke.
When was this taken?
The 18th
Of what?
of December.
But it's not date stamped. Let's go to the next photo.
Yeah, that's when the shower door fell on her foot.
And what are you showing me here?
That's the nail coming off her foot, that lifted up off
What
her foot.
happened, ma'am?
When I got in the shower door was kind of wrinkly. And I closed the shower door, taking a shower, and then all of a sudden the shower door just fell on my foot. So there's a shower door there. We had to leave it in the tub because you couldn't put it back on.
Okay, what's the next photo? What is this
That's
photo?
the illegal plug. The plug is not even in the wall, just sitting up there. And that's the cabinet beside the kitchen, where he said that he was clean when I moved in.
This just seems kind of ridiculous. You take a picture at the worst possible time, you pull out a fridge, you pull out a stove, try to find stuff to take photos of, and he's been extorting me since day one.
Why are you suing for $4,600 for new house expenses? What is that about?
The new house expenses was for me to move from his house with a U-Haul and people to move my stuff out of his house into the new house.
And you paid over $4,000
I
for
paid
that.
$2,400 to move in. I paid almost $600 for the U-Haul. I paid them guys
$2,400 to move in, that's your rent for the new place?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no, he's not paying that.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Ma'am, do you have something you want to say before I rule on this case?
Well, I was living there, and I call him my son-in-law, and he took care of all the business.
Well, did you see that the plumbing was fixed at some point?
I'm not sure about the master bathroom, but they did get that feces out the yard, but we had people supposed to come for Thanksgiving dinner. We had to move the dinner somewhere else.
Okay, and you're not sure if the other bathroom was working or not?
Well, I don't know when it got fixed, but I had to take a bath in the master bathroom. Like you say, that door was in that tub and nobody could use it.
Okay, thank you. I think that you're a contractor and you wanted to do this work yourself. You wanted him to pay you to do this work, and based on all the photos you submitted of all the issues, some of them really minor with the house, I don't think he could do anything to satisfy you. Clearly he was inconvenienced. They couldn't spend Thanksgiving in their home. What's that worth? That's the question. You're asking for $4,688 in new house expenses. Everything that you paid to move into a new house, rent, security deposit. I don't know on what planet he would be responsible for that, but he's not. I'm not ordering him to pay that. You're also asking for the remainder of your security deposit. He kept $389. In fairness, I'm going to order him to return $200 of that security deposit to you. You're also asking for rent. I'm going to order him to return half of 1 month's rent to you for the inconvenience that I believe the plumbing issue caused for the days that you were inconvenienced. Half of 1 month's rent is $762. You came up with this inflated lawsuit over $8,000. It's not going to happen because it's not fair. What's fair is he pays you $962, judgment in this case for the plaintiff.
Today on Judge Faith, an unhappy tenant and her fed-up landlord argue over the details of their rental relationship gone wrong.
A bunch of mice droppings was on my floor. I have the letter from the building inspector saying that it's been on the condemned list.
She constantly complained about something being broken in the house. Home was in beautiful condition, Your Honor.
So here we are from the very beginning. We can't even agree on how long she's lived in the home, so I can already tell how this case is going to go. Tell me about your case, ma'am.
And later, BFFs find out the hard way their quick loan to pay for expenses was a gamble that didn't pay off.
She wanted to pay some of her bills, and so did I, because I was kind of behind on my stuff, and so was she.
We went to Vegas, we rented a car, got a room, and it's Vegas, it's not cheap.
Do you know how much you pay at the end of this loan? Over $12,000. So it's 133% interest rate for $2,600.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Jamie Hill says the house that she rented from the defendant was condemned and she needs to move. She's suing for neglect of rental property duties, moving expenses, and reimbursement for items purchased. Defendant Angelo Veal says he doesn't owe any money because Jamie is a difficult tenant and destroyed his home. He's countersuing for destruction of rental property.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Hill versus Veal.
Thank you, Juan. Jamie Hill?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Angelo Veal
It's me.
for $5,000 for neglect of rental property duties, moving expenses, and reimbursement for some items you purchased?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $5,000 for destruction of rental property.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So I take it that the plaintiff is a tenant in a property of yours?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long have you lived in the property, ma'am?
Over a year.
What do you mean by over a year?
About 15, 16 months.
You don't know how many
It's 2
months
years,
you've
Your
been
Honor.
there? What?
2 years.
Okay, so here we are from the very beginning. We can't even agree on how long she's lived in the home, so I can already tell how this case is going to go. Tell me about your case, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. This is my landlord, Angelo Veal. I met him through my sister. Before I moved in, January of 2015, he was supposed to have pulled up the carpet. He was supposed to have fixed my back door. He was also supposed to fix the basement.
Okay, this is prior to you moving in, you
Yes.
say? Okay, what kind of condition do you say the home was in, sir?
Home was in beautiful condition, Your Honor. She comes into the place. and just totally messes the place up now. And she constantly complained about something being broken in the house. In the last 30 days, I had to repair the front door knobs, had to plaster the ceilings, I had to put smoke detectors that were missing in the house.
Well, that's in the last 30 days.
Right.
But there's a reason for that, right?
Right. Yeah,
because
the house
okay,
is...
so let's back up for a second, because you have lived in this home for, by your testimony, over a year.
Yes, ma'am.
My question to you is, if it's so bad and you're paying rent, why haven't you used that money to find another place to live?
I've been looking for a place to live. I was supposed to move in September. I mean, it's hard being on a fixed income. I get disability, me and my son.
And how many children do you have?
I have a total of 4.
So the youngest is 10 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any photos of the home?
I sure do.
May I see them, please? What do you say, sir, about the allegations that, because basically what she is arguing to the court is that the home is uninhabitable. You claim that she's created all of these issues, sir?
Ma'am, the house went in that condition when she moved in.
It was not? Do you have photos of what it looked like before she moved in to prove that to the court?
Coming up, the living conditions in the rental house go from bad to worse.
That's the washer and dryer that was in the basement when I moved in there. That's actually water on the floor.
The basement flooded?
Yes, ma'am.
3 times you've been out there in the year to clean the drain.
Why haven't you moved for eviction if she's so bad, if she's tearing up your house so much?
And later, BFFs battle over outstanding payments on a high-interest loan.
So the agreement was she pays me $69 every 2 weeks.
And how did that work out?
She just never paid me.
So you said she never paid you any money back. Is that true?
Plaintiff Jamie Hill says the house she's renting from Angelo is condemned. She's suing for neglect of rental property duties, moving expenses, and reimbursement for items purchased. Defendant Angelo Veal says he owes nothing because Jamie tore up his rental house. He's countersuing for destruction of rental property.
So how are you going to prove to me that she's caused $5,000 worth of damages to your home? Because she's saying the home was in bad shape when she moved in. You said it was in excellent condition.
Yes.
So you are on 2 opposite sides of the spectrum on that. How are you going to prove to me that the home was in excellent condition if you don't have photos?
I have repaired people to come and worked on the house with me when I was repairing it. So
what is this a photo of?
That's the washer and dryer that was in the basement when I moved in there. That's water. That's actually water on the floor.
The basement flooded?
Yes, ma'am. It's destroyed a whole lot of my stuff that was down there.
What's the issue with the sewage?
What happened is 3 times you've been out there in the year to clean the drain due to feminine products flushed
Why
down the
haven't you
toilet.
evicted her then? Why haven't you moved for eviction if she's so bad, if she's tearing up your house so much?
She got to take responsibility.
You're saying that she is causing all of these issues. What happened with the ceiling?
3 o'clock in the morning, my 12-year-old daughter got up off of that couch right there, came upstairs to get ready for school. We heard a loud noise. So I got up and me and my daughter looked at each other and she said, "Mama, what was that?" I said, "I don't know, baby, I'm in the room with you." I came down the stairs and I just looked up and seen the hole. I dumped the stuff that's on the couch onto the kitchen floor, along with the stuff that's on the couch and a bunch of mice droppings was on my floor. I have the letter from the building inspector saying that it's been on the condemned list. I got a letter from the health inspector.
Around April, she started calling all these inspectors, building inspectors.
I don't care if she called them. I don't, listen, if they condemned the house and said it was unsafe for her to live there, it's not because she's colluding with them. They're doing their job.
Right.
Right? So did that happen or not?
No.
Okay, this is the letter they sent to you.
Yes.
You are hereby notified that pursuant to current codes and ordinances, I have inspected the structures at this property. Said premises is condemned for occupancy. Did you go in? Oh, wait. So you didn't go in because there's another letter they sent to you in May. You failed to correct the property code violations at the above address, and this has resulted in the assessment of fines.
I did get those items taken care of, Your Honor.
You got these letters. The property was condemned. The city was very specific about what you had to correct. Do you not think I'm going to read the evidence that's in front of me? So here's what we're going to do. By law, as a landlord, You have an obligation to provide a safe property for your tenants to live in. You have now breached the oral lease. I'm requiring you to pay a reasonable amount for the plaintiff to relocate into another property. Your counterclaim, by the way, for $5,000 for damage to the property is dismissed. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. You're suing for $5,000, ma'am. I'm ordering the defendant to pay a total of $2,500. A portion of that is for rent for the last month when you knew the property was condemned and you did not make the adequate repairs in a timely fashion. You're being fined by the city for that. And the remainder portion is for moving expenses, which by law I am allowed to provide to the plaintiff. So that's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor in the amount of $2,500. Please move out of this home and find another place for you and your children to live.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck.
Thank you. I really need somewhere to stay. This time I'm gonna take my time and look for a place, but I will be moving out of his residence.
I'm planning on repairing it, restoring it back to the way it was. It went in that condition. It was in, Miss Hill went in there, but she had to say what she had to say or to get a payday, so I understand that.
Plaintiff Tony Casares says she took out a loan with the defendant, but now her friend is refusing to pay it back. She's suing for a loan. Defendant Tiffany Nesby says she doesn't owe any money because she paid Tony back by covering the cost for trips and other items.
Tony Casares?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Tiffany Nesby.
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,195 you say she owes you for a loan.
That's correct.
So just so I'm clear, you're suing for half the loan plus the interest that has accrued to this date, which is a total amount of $2,195 you claim she owes you.
Correct.
Okay, so why don't you tell me what's going on here?
Okay, well, back in October 2013, I met the defendant through a mutual friend. We became really close friends. She's bubbly, I'm bubbly. We hit it off. It was great. And we became so close that, we became roommates.
So the year and a half that the two of you lived together, you got along well?
Yes, really.
Okay, and why don't you give me some background on you?
So we met through a mutual friend, and we decided to become roommates, and we hit it off well. We went everywhere almost together if we weren't working or going to school. Went out, clicked really well, and always together for the most part.
So you don't live together anymore, but you decided to get this loan.
Right.
Tell me what was going on.
Okay, well, eventually, we parted our ways, so things got a little difficult. Life is hard. So she called me one day, she said, hey, Tony, do you want to take out a loan? And I was like, yeah, sure, So what we did was we went in my car, we tried 2 loan spots. They denied us both, but eventually we tried one more spot and it was Speedy Cash. So I went in there and he was like, yeah, you're approved. He gave me $2,675 on the spot. So that's how I got the
hold
loan.
on a second. The two of you wanted to get a loan just to have some extra cash?
No, it was actually for bills.
To pay bills?
She wanted to pay some of her bills, and so did I, because I was kind of behind on my stuff, and so was she. So she
But
said,
why couldn't you go as an individual and get it on your own? You had to have somebody else on the loan with you because of your credit? Is that what it is?
No, I just thought I didn't want to take out that lump sum by myself. That's not how it worked. When the type of loan it was that amount.
A minimum. It was a minimum.
A minimum,
of,
yes.
Okay, now I understand. Do you have the loan paperwork with you?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the agreement in terms of how the two of you would pay back the loan?
Every 2 weeks, they would withdraw the $139 from my bank account. So the agreement was she pays me $69 every 2 weeks.
And how did that work out?
It didn't work out.
What happened?
She just never paid me.
Here you have a loan for $2,600.
Correct.
Right? If you pay the total amount that they're charging you each month, $139, and if you make the total number of payments, which is 90 payments, do you know how much you pay at the end of this loan? Over $12,000. You know that?
No, well, actually,
so
I
it's
did see it on the
133% interest rate for $2,600. You're aware of that?
I wasn't aware of that, no.
Because you all don't read.
Coming up on Judge Faith, social media posts put the Vegas story on blast.
The year before that, we went to Vegas.
So you're saying it was last November?
Yeah, last November.
Did you post any photos on social media?
Of course.
Where's your phone? Let's pull up your Instagram. Let's look at the photos.
Plaintiff Tony Casares says Tiffany failed to pay back her portion of their high-interest loan. she's suing for a loan. Defendant Tiffany Nesby says she owes nothing because Tony was paid back with a trip to Vegas.
So you said she never paid you any money back. Is that true?
I paid her at least once or twice with the $69, I believe. At
least once or twice.
Yeah. Well, the reason I feel like I don't owe is because by me being a wonderful friend that I am, there's been multiple times we went places.
If you have to say so yourself.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm a great friend. But so let me remind you real quick. We went to Las Vegas, and everyone.
This was after the loan?
Yes, this is after the
loan.
loan.
What month?
My birthday's in November.
So this was 6 months after you got the loan?
Yes.
And you say you've only made 2 payments and you go to Vegas?
What was my birthday, Your Honor? So of course okay. So we went to Vegas. And at the time, her being my friend, she didn't really have too much of the funds. And of course, I wanted her to go, and I know I owed her money. So I told her that I would spot her and things like that. So for instance, we went to Vegas, we rented a car, got a room, and of course, it's Vegas. It's not cheap.
Neither one of you have money to go to Vegas.
At the time when we went to Vegas, I did have a job.
Okay, you don't have spare money to go to Vegas if you are paying back a $2,600 loan to Speedy Cash.
The year before that, we went to Vegas, but I didn't take out the loan yet.
No,
last year, we went to a club.
So you're saying it was last November?
No, it was, last November.
This past November,
in
for your birthday?
2015,
It
yes,
was
for my
not.
birthday, yes.
Did you post any photos on social media?
Of course.
Where's your phone? Let's pull up your Instagram. Let's look at the photos.
Well,
yeah, show her the photos.
I have no problem showing her the photos.
I don't need your help. I'm sorry?
And also, it's not just Vegas trips. It's more things that I pay for too.
Where's your what's your Instagram handle? Where's my phone? What's your Instagram handle?
Okay, you can add me too.
Where's
if
your
you want.
phone? I want to have her to write her Instagram handle on here. I want to see when they went to Vegas. So give me the right one. I hope. Listen, I don't know what you post on Instagram. I'm not here to judge. I just want to see.
No, it's not nudes or anything like that.
Okay. This is all one word?
Yes.
Was it private?
Oh, yes, it is private, so you're going to have to add me.
See, I'm not doing all this. So I can't pull it up on my phone because it's private. You pull it up on yours. Let me see your Instagram.
Okay.
You have your Instagram up?
Yeah, I'm pulling
Okay,
it up.
I'll scroll through.
Oh, okay.
I'll look at the dates. This should be November, right? It should be from November.
Yes.
I know how this works. I'm not even looking at all your photos. I'm just going through.
I wish you would have added me, though. I wouldn't mind.
So I'm at December 2014.
It's probably a video.
Why do you have a photo of Chris Brown? Is he your man crush Monday?
Yes. And well, I seen him in person as well.
There are no photos from Vegas in November.
It's probably a video. I usually do videos for my birthday.
So here you are. I found the Vegas post. You're in it.
Yes.
Both of you guys looks like you're having a very nice time in Vegas.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's from November of 2014, not this past year. So it is from before you got the loan.
Okay, but she still owes me money from that.
No. I'm very clear about this. I asked you when you went to Vegas. You said it was this past November on your birthday. It wasn't. It was 2 birthdays ago, okay?
Okay.
So your argument about you not owing money because of this trip to Vegas is completely moot. It's irrelevant.
Okay, it's not just only Vegas, though. I have more things that I also
I'm not going to hear the rest because you've lost credibility with me now, ma'am, because you told me you went to Vegas this past year.
Also forgetting as well. I'm not perfect, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I'm not perfect, Your Honor, as well. I do a lot
I'm not
of things
saying
for
you're
my
perfect.
birthday.
I just want you to tell the truth. You don't have to be perfect. Just tell the truth. None of us are perfect.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So I get that the two of you are friends, but when you enter into an agreement to get a loan together and pay it back, guess what? Now you're business partners. And you have to know how to separate the two. Your friendship is one thing, but this contract is a totally different thing. So now we're here, and I have to decide who's responsible for breaching this contract. Because here's what you told me today, that this trip was going to offset some of the money that you owed on the loan.
Right.
This is just 6 months ago. You're 24 years old. Your
Right.
memory's not that bad. It's not gone yet, okay?
Of course.
So here you are, 6 months ago, you tell me you went to Vegas, she went with you, that's going to offset some of this loan. It didn't happen. I just looked at your Instagram. Vegas was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Please don't try to come in here and play me like that.
Definitely
please.
not. That's not the only thing that I've done for her.
I don't want to
well.
I don't want to hear about anything else. You know why? Because I just found out you didn't tell me the truth about Vegas. Why do I want to hear about anything else?
I mean, that's fine. I feel like I don't owe her the money because of other things that I've done.
It's not
for
about
her.
what you feel. I'm asking you about your defense.
Right.
Why you haven't paid your portion of the loan back. I heard you out. I even went over and beyond and
Not
looked at your
everything,
Instagram.
though. You didn't hear everything I said, though.
You know why? Because the one time you had to tell me the truth, you didn't. So why should I hear anything else?
Well, no, it's because, like I said, I did
Judgment in this
forget
case is
as
for the
well.
plaintiff, $2,195. I've heard enough. You haven't given me any reason why you haven't paid off the loans. The one reason you gave me, you lost all credibility with me because you didn't tell me the truth. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff.
Today on Judge Faith, a Detroit dad confronts a young man who he claims tried to pull a used car bait and switch sale on him.
I was looking for a car for my daughter. The insurance company told me that it wasn't a 2004, it was a 2002.
So how many cars have you bought in the last year?
Maybe 4.
4 cars in the last year? So you are flipping cars.
And later, drivers collide in an Atlanta intersection, and now they want the court to determine which person must pay.
And as I was coming out to make my left, before my eyes, lights were coming at me and the young lady hit me. She just came out of nowhere and I swerved, and that's how I hit the side of her in the back from trying to miss her because she never stopped.
You're not supposed to be behind the wheel of a car ever. Not sometimes, not every now and then, not when you have to.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Daryl Blackman says the defendant lied in his Craigslist ad and tried to sell him a used truck that was 2 years older. He's suing for a down payment and lost wages. Defendant Hassan Al-Bahaj says he owes nothing because the wrong information in the listing was a mistake, and by law, he can keep the down payment.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Blackman versus Al-Bahaj.
Thank you, Juan. Daryl Blackman.
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant Hassan Al-Bahaj
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,140. You say he owes you $500 of that is a down payment for a car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the rest is lost wages.
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me what's going on. I understand that you were in the process of purchasing a car from the defendant that did not go through. You want your down payment back. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Yes, ma'am. I was looking for a car for my daughter. She had just gotten her job. She was supposed to start the next week. And so I went on Craigslist, and I seen an ad on there for a 2004 GMC Envoy.
Do you have the ad with you?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it? And you posted this ad on Craigslist?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long had you had it?
I'd say a couple of weeks, Your Honor.
A couple of weeks?
Yeah,
So where'd you get the car from?
Craigslist. It was mine, though. It was under my name.
Are you flipping cars? Is that what you're doing, making a little bit of a
No, I'm
profit?
not flipping cars. It was an SUV, so I just prefer to actually drive a car.
So how many cars have you bought in the last year?
Maybe 4.
You buy them off Craigslist and then you resell them on Craigslist?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so you're flipping a few cars. Go ahead.
We met up in Walmart parking lot. That's where we met. I asked him, I said, do you have a title for the car? He said, yeah, he had it in his pocket. He pulled it up. I said, okay, fine. I said, oh, follow me to the bank and I'll get you a deposit and we'll finish up the transaction Saturday morning. I took the receipt that he wrote. I went home, me and my daughter, we went home, and I called my insurance company because I was going to insure the car. So I called him for a price quote, and I gave him the VIN number that he had wrote on the receipt. And it came back, the insurance company told me that it wasn't a 2004, it was a 2002. So I said, okay, well, I'll call you back, and I called the defendant. I said, okay, well, you know, we're gonna have to renegotiate the price. And they said, no, that's my price is firm. I said, well, your price is firm for a 2004, not a 2002.
Did you give the deposit back?
No, I didn't.
What was the reason?
Because that's not true, Your Honor. He actually did see the title, and it was in front of my house, and I mean...
Look at me. Look at me when you're talking.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay.
What's going on?
I showed him the title, and he actually seen the title, and he seen what year.
Well,
and
let's
everything.
talk about your ad. Let's not talk about the title. Let's talk
Okay.
about what you advertised.
No, the ad, I admit.
You advertised a 2004.
Yeah,
and,
I admit.
And it actually is a 2002?
Yeah, I admit. I made a mistake. I had the car for probably a week, or when I was trying to post it, I have had
So
it
what's
for like
the
2
issue?
weeks.
Why haven't you given him back the deposit if the car is actually a 2002?
Okay, because he seen the title. He knows it was a 2002. When he went home, he didn't want the car.
Forget that. So you can't tell me what he knows, okay? Don't tell me what he knows.
Okay.
I'm asking you a specific question about your ad because it's not a 2004 as you put on your ad, it's a 2002. So you understand the value of the car changes based on the year.
Okay.
So he tells you that he wants to renegotiate the price. That's reasonable. You renegotiate the price because the value of the car is now different.
Okay, so you're telling me when he went home, then he decided that, oh, it's a 2004, let me change my mind.
Forget about what he saw on the title. Forget about that altogether because you're assuming because he looked at the title, he looked at the year of the car.
I mean, he's seen what year it was.
Listen, I don't care about that because here's the issue. The value of a 2004 in good condition is $4,100. You were selling it for $4,000.
No, it's worth
The value
more
of
if
the
you're gonna
2002 is $3,300. That's a big difference in price. He doesn't want to pay $4,000 for a car that's only worth, in good condition, $3,300. So, in your ad, you misrepresented a material fact. So he comes back to you, he still wants to buy the car, but he wants to renegotiate the price, which is a reasonable solution.
Coming up, the details of the sale are examined.
He could have changed his mind when he was with me, when he seen the title.
You don't even know what year the car is. How can you assume he knows?
And later, an accident in an Atlanta intersection has the drivers arguing over which person should pay.
She didn't stop at all, and she hit me on the side of my driver's side door.
She came so fast that's why she didn't see nothing, because she didn't stop.
Plaintiff Daryl Blackman says Hassan lied about the year of the truck and then refused to renegotiate the sale price. He's suing for a down payment and lost wages. Defendant Hassan Al-Bahaj says he owes nothing because the wrong information in the listing was a mistake and the money he kept was a down payment.
Where's the car?
Gone.
Gone where?
I don't know, I sold it to someone.
I'm sorry, you gotta speak up.
I sold it to someone.
You sold it to someone else,
Craigslist.
but you kept his deposit?
Yes.
Why do you get to keep his deposit if he didn't get the car?
Because he could have changed his mind. He could have changed his mind when he was with me, when he seen the title.
Sir, the value of the car
I mean, I don't care
is not
what's the
worth.
value. It's Craigslist. I can put $10,000. That's my choice.
It's not
5,000,
your choice to
6,000.
misrepresent what you're selling. That's not your choice.
Okay,
That's fraud.
and I made
That's
that
fraud.
mistake, but he was with me.
The contract that you gave to the plaintiff, you wrote that this was a 2004 Envoy. So it's not only did you list it in the ad, you wrote it in the contract. Don't sell another car on Craigslist, because if you're serious about what I'm saying to you and you don't get it, then I think you're committing fraud.
No, I'm not.
You're so focused and you're saying he saw the title. He knew what year the car was. You don't even know what year the car is. How can you assume he knows if you don't even know?
Okay, my bad. Then I
Had
don't
you
know.
seen
He
the
might
title?
Be blind. I don't know.
You made this mistake. You had the title of the car for 3 weeks and you made the mistake.
Okay.
He looked at it for 2 seconds and you're saying now it is totally his responsibility to get it right when you got it wrong? What's your lost wages claim for?
I'm a consultant for the City of Detroit Water Department, Great Lakes Water Authority, and I'm showing the guys how to rebuild their major pumps out there at the plant. I had to take off work to file to try to get my $500 back, and then I had to take off to come here.
Listen, if we were here today and he was telling me that he bought the car from Craigslist and there was an issue with the transmission or there was an issue with the engine, the car is as is, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You get to keep his deposit because it's an as-is sale. The value of the car is different, and you misrepresented a material fact in the sale of this car. You said it was a 2004, when in fact it was a 2002. And based on the testimony and the conversation I'm having with you today, I think you did it on purpose because you're flipping cars and you're trying to make a profit and you're trying to do.
How would I know he's going to give me a deposit?
For a conversation. She's telling you something.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. You're not only going to return his $500, but I'm also awarding him $250 in punitive damages because you're a fraudster. What can I say?
She accused me of something, actually, that I didn't do. I was not flipping cars.
I feel the judge's ruling was very fair. She had seen through the smoke screen that he was trying to do.
Plaintiff Jessica Bunch says the defendant sped through a flashing red light and crashed into her car. She's suing for car costs, insurance, Uber rides, and for pain and suffering. Defendants Kawasi Collins and Sheena Page say they don't know because Jessica is the one who didn't stop at the light and is responsible for the accident.
Jessica Bunch.
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Kawasi Collins and Sheena Page.
Yes.
For $14,000 you say they owe you for car costs, insurance, Uber rides, and pain and suffering, all as a result of a car accident.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'll start with you. Why don't you tell me what happened and how this accident occurred?
Okay, I was headed to drop a friend off at home that morning. It was around like 2 o'clock in the morning. The lights were blinking red, indicating that, the cars were supposed to stop before you keep going. I came to a stop, and as I was coming out to make my left, before my eyes, lights were coming at me, and the young lady hit me on my side.
Okay, let me see the map of the area. Do you want to walk over and show me where the accident
Your
happened?
Honor.
So where were you? Which direction were you coming from?
I was coming from about right here.
Okay.
And I was coming down this street here. When I got about right here, I probably just about past this area here, Miss Kawasi, she was coming from this direction over here.
Mm-hmm.
As I was coming out, she didn't stop at all, and she hit me on the side of my driver's side door.
Okay, and you were making a left turn?
Yes, I was making a left turn, trying to cross over in front of her 2 lanes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
And Miss Collins, you were driving that night?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car were you driving?
Camry, Toyota Camry.
From what year?
1998.
99.
99.
99? Okay, because you're the owner of the car.
I am the owner.
Okay. Did you stop for a flashing
Yes, I
red light?
stopped, but she came so fast that's why she didn't see nothing, because she didn't stop. And when I yielded and I started to press the gas to move on, she just came out of nowhere. And I swerved, and that's how I hit the side of her in the back from trying to miss her, because she never stopped. Her friend jumped out and started running towards me, attacking, kicking my car, and this, that.
So did your friend get out of the car and they were kicking her car?
No, my door on my side was closed. Her car was so far away. My friend didn't run off to her car.
So none of that happened?
No, we stayed right there by my car.
Is there a police report from that night?
Yes, ma'am.
The only reason the cars had been pulled apart is because we had to get out the street.
Okay, and what were you doing out that night? Had you been at a party?
Yes, from the day before. We had went to go pick up the car because of the New Year.
So you had been partying since the day before?
No, I wasn't partying then.
Were you drinking that night or morning?
No, I don't drink, Your Honor.
What do you have to say?
I was gonna say the car got left at her friend's house because that night we were drinking that night before.
Well, she just said she doesn't drink.
Well, that's why it was left, because I was the driver. It was left there because I couldn't drive it.
Let me look at the police report. So this is a drawing from the police department, and Unit 1 represents your car, the car you were driving. So, and according to the police sketch, Unit 1 hit Unit 2. So this is what the police determined after the accident when they investigated on the scene. Due to the positions of the vehicle, debris from the lights of Vehicle 2, which is yours,
yes,
it was determined that driver 1, Vehicle 1, was at fault for the accident for failure to obey traffic control device, which was the flashing light at the time because the lights had malfunctioned at the intersection. Then they found out through interviewing you, ma'am, that you do not have a driver's license. Not only did you not have it on you, but you just don't have one in general. You want to talk about that?
I never had a license.
Now you're all shy and quiet.
No, I'm not shy and quiet.
How long have you been driving?
I don't drive.
Well, no, you do drive.
I was driving that night, but I doesn't drive.
Oh, so that's the only night in your life you've gotten behind the wheel of a car to drive?
Sometimes, but I don't drive.
So what does sometimes mean?
Well, every now and then.
But you do know you do not have a driver's license.
Yes, ma'am, I do
So that
know
means
that.
you're not supposed to be behind the wheel of a car ever.
Yes, ma'am.
Not sometimes, not every now and then, not when you have to. Was it your first time being arrested for driving without a
No.
license?
No,
How many times?
it's my second.
Your second. When was the first time?
Months before then.
She was in your car. Did you know she didn't have a license?
I did. Like I said, the reason it was like that was because the night before we left it, and I was going back to get it, and I was in my work truck, and so she was bringing the car home.
What's your relationship?
She's my girlfriend.
Okay, so you are a couple.
Yes.
Okay, so you know your girlfriend doesn't have a license
Right.
and she drives your car every now and then.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the bills from the accident are discussed in court.
You didn't have gap insurance. So when you get into a car accident and someone hits you, what is their liability?
Plaintiff Jessica Bunch says the accident wasn't her fault. She's suing for car costs, insurance, Uber rides, and for pain and suffering. Defendants Kawasi Collins and Sheena Page say they don't know because Jessica caused the accident.
There are two parts to this case. There's the issue of liability and the issue of damages. Liability in this case is clear. The police investigated on the scene. They found that you were liable for the accident and you don't have a driver's license, so you should not have been driving. Then there's the issue of damages. Now, you had full coverage, insurance coverage on your car.
I did.
It was totaled, right?
Yes.
And how much did you get from the insurance company?
The insurance company paid off $10,998.
And your car is worth, let me just check the value. Your car in fair condition is valued at $8,700. The insurance company paid you almost $11,000.
They paid the finance company because even though the car, they said the car was worth $10,000, but due to the fact that I went to a finance company, the car that I had to pay off was over $12,000.
You didn't have gap insurance, right? So when you get into a car accident and someone hits you, what is their liability? Their liability is for the property they've damaged.
That's correct.
She's not liable for the loan you
Right.
have on your car. You could owe thousands of dollars more than the car is worth. She's not liable for how much you owe on the car. She's
Right.
liable for the damage she's caused.
Okay.
You're also suing for pain and suffering. Tell me about that.
Pain and suffering. It's just been a pain.
Were you injured?
Yes.
Well, I know it's a pain. Every car accident is a pain. But were you actually physically injured?
Yes, I was injured.
Tell me about that.
My back, my neck. I was hit on this side, on my left side, so my arm over here was swollen,
Okay,
and
do
it
you
was
have
hard
proof
for
of
me
that?
to stand. That's the bill from the hospital.
Okay. So this is your only out-of-pocket, right?
Yes, ma'am. I went to the chiropractor, but I had to stop that after they denied my case, so I couldn't even get any more.
And you're also suing for Uber. You said you had to use Uber. You spent $800. Do you have receipts for the Uber rides?
I do have some of the receipts, but it was like so many. Like,
May I see
I have a
those
few
receipts?
here. On just daily basis, I would have to take one Uber in the morning to get them to school, a Uber from their school to my school if it was on a Monday or Wednesday, from my
Okay.
school back to their school.
This case is particularly egregious because you're so cavalier about not having a driver's license and just driving around like it's just no big deal.
I wasn't just driving around.
You know, because you've been doing it all your life, Miss Collins.
No, I haven't been doing it all my life.
Yes, you have.
I
You
just
say
drove
every
from
now
one
and
point to
again.
another
You're probably
point and hit
driving
her.
around every day.
Well, didn't hit
Did you
her.
drive
She-
here today?
No.
I better not see you out in the parking lot when I leave.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So here's what we're going to do. You had almost $2,000 in out-of-pocket medical expenses. So I'm going to order the defendant to pay that in addition to the Uber receipts that you provided. In addition to that, I'm going to order you to pay $500 in punitive damages because you came into court today, you told me not only were you driving without a license on this date, you know, driving is a privilege, it's not a right, okay? Yes. But you just got a ticket a few months before for doing the same thing. So that ticket did nothing whatsoever to dissuade you from getting right back in the car driving again, but perhaps the $500 punitive damages in this case will. Total judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $2,884. That's your judgment. Good luck.
Today on Judge Faith, twin brothers demand a refund from the music engineer they say lost the recording of their hit song.
There were no files in our folder at all. Mr. Dawson was also in a rush, if I can add.
Okay.
He was trying to get to the strip club.
I didn't have the backup files. Unfortunately, I'm not one to sit and cry over spoiled milk.
You're not crying about anything. You got paid.
And later, a St. Louis man wants the rings back after his fiancée breaks off their engagement.
I said, I know you. She said, I know you too, so she gave me a piece of candy. We started talking.
I put it like this, John, he had a good game.
I ended up spending the night with her.
Well, what kind of candy did she give you?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiffs Antiero and Antiano Finley say the defendant was in a rush to get to a strip club and deleted their recording session. They're suing for lost studio files, time, and reimbursement for new studio time. Defendant Kaylin Dawson says he owes nothing because the twins released a diss song that damaged his reputation. He's countersuing for slander.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Finley and Finley versus Dawson.
Thank you, Juan. Antiero Finley
Yes, Your Honor.
and Antiano Finley.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Kaylin Dawson,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,200 for lost studio files, time, and reimbursement for new studio time you say you had to purchase?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're countersuing, sir, for $500 for slander.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I take it you are twins.
We are. We are twins.
And I'm not confused by the names at all. So you're Terry.
I'm Terry. Yes,
And you are Tino.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Do you mind if I call you by your first names since you're both Mr. Finley?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Please do.
So we'll start with you, Terry.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you start by telling me what's going on here?
We actually met Mr. Dawson at American Intercontinental University.
He's an engineer.
He's an engineer, yes.
How long have you been doing this kind of work, sir?
I've been engineering since 2012. All right, I started my own studio, in-home studio, working with different producers and engineers since that time.
Okay, go ahead.
We hired Mr. Dawson to engineer that session, and we paid him $75 an hour for his engineering at 3 days, and it was 4 hours a day. So that came out to 12 hours and $900.
And then the two of you entered into a written contract. Who drafted this contract? Is this your contract?
It's my contract,
You have
Your
all the
Honor.
artists who come in sign this contract?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So what happened?
The problem was when he transferred the files at the end of the session onto our external hard drive, we took the session to get it mastered the next day, and the mastering engineer let us know that the files were missing. So we missing.
Okay. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, the way it works is like this. So once we're done with the session is comprised of multiple audio files. The track that you hear, the music, is broken down into up to 10 or plus audio files. When transferred that process over, it normally doesn't take but about a couple of minutes or things of that nature. Everything gets transferred, all consolidated down to one file. As far as I'm concerned, when I transferred the file over at the end of the session, everything was transferred over and complete.
Did you double check?
Coming up, a Grammy-nominated producer provides insight into the production process.
Is there an expectation that the engineer will have that session available to him afterwards?
It's just common practice.
And later, a broken engagement has ex-lovers battling over the rings.
You say you paid $200 towards these rings?
Yes, ma'am. I gave him some on the rings.
No, you didn't give me nothing.
Why didn't you give the rings back?
Plaintiffs Antiano and Antiero Finley say Kalen improperly transferred their studio session. They're suing for lost studio files, time, and reimbursement for new studio time. Defendant Kalen Dawson says he owes nothing because the twins put out a diss song that damaged his reputation. He's countersuing for slander.
And what proof do you have that files were actually missing, that they were not transferred?
There were no files in our folder at all. Now, Ms. Dawson was also in a rush, if I can add.
Okay.
He was trying to get to the strip club.
How do you know this?
Because he said it.
Yeah, before the session ended, he was saying, you know, he was trying to hurry up because he had to meet someone.
Were you in a rush to go to the strip club?
No, Your Honor.
Did you see the files being transferred?
We saw the files being transferred. It just...
Usually you just drop a folder, you know, and the whole folder, all the files will be in that folder.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, they weren't there.
And Mr. Dawson was saying that his computer was crashing.
What happened?
So, all right, so after the session was over with that night, later on, I needed to update my Pro Tools system. All right, Pro Tools is what we use to record the music. So I was just updating my system. I have documentation, Your Honor, if you would like to see, of the updates, all right? While doing so, I experienced a system crash when trying to update the system and update my Pro Tools session.
And you lost the material?
I lost a lot of things. I lost personal things. I lost previous sessions. Unfortunately, I'm not one to sit and cry over spoiled milk. I didn't have the backup files. The
Well,
session
it's not
crashed.
your spoiled milk it's their spoiled milk. They're the ones that lost the files, right? You're not crying about anything. You got paid. What is your countersuit about? You have a countersuit.
Yes, well, I'm countersuing these
defamation.
gentlemen. They, I can give you the wording to the song. I don't have the audio files. They came out with a song about me. They're going around different studios with different people.
So it was a diss track, you're saying?
Yes, a diss record. And that can end people's careers, Your Honor. I mean, Ja Rule, have you heard of him since 50 Cent came out? I mean, it's just completely trash. And so...
yeah, he does have a point. Was this diss track about him?
Who said his name not one time, Your Honor?
I didn't ask you that. I said, what is it about him?
It was not about him.
And as you can
Really?
Not at all.
And as you can see, that's very
You're smiling. It was about him, wasn't it?
No, it's just funny that he thinks it was about him.
Who is it about? I can't read most of the words because y'all kind of went in.
Exactly, Your Honor.
But the fact that you can't read it and tie it to him makes it subliminal.
Also,
No, you're saying, I know what you're saying. A hit dog will holler. He thinks it's about him because he's guilty. But my question is, who is this about?
I know the song was about me. They made a Snapchat video, Your Honor, clearly talking about the situation that we had together. I put two and two together. You put out this song, you make a Snapchat video, all within a couple days of each other after you've recently had our incident. What else shows that you're not talking about me, Your Honor?
Let me see the Snapchat video.
I mean, we did a few sessions last week. Paid this fool $900 to engineer for us.
And the song came out jumping, but he lost the files. I need my money, man.
Oh, so you're saying that's not about him?
No.
Another
No.
engineer lost a session?
Okay. It's about him, but at the
Okay,
end of
that's
the
what I
day-
thought. That's what I thought.
$900. Who else they paid $900 to, Your Honor?
Here's what we're going to do. I actually asked a friend of mine who works in the industry, he's an engineer like you, to listen to the testimony in this case and come and give his expert opinion about this case and what the industry standards are. He's a 3-time Grammy-nominated producer, songwriter, and engineer. He's produced and engineered for artists such as Whitney Houston, Justin Bieber, Toni Braxton, Lil Mama, and many more. He recently produced Chris Brown's Grammy-nominated hit single New Flame featuring Usher and Rick Ross. Count Justice, thank you for being here today.
Judge Faith?
Count Justice, have you had the opportunity to listen to the testimony from the witnesses today?
I did get a chance to listen to the testimony.
Okay, and you're an engineer. That's what you do, and you've been doing this for over a decade. So you understand what the defendant does for a living, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, based on your opinion and in the industry practice, when an artist shows up at a studio and his session is recorded and he leaves, is there an expectation that the engineer will have that session available to him afterwards?
It's just common practice, you know? Like, if you're gonna do something, you should do it all the way. So you always wanna have a backup because you never know what's gonna happen.
How long do you keep sessions backed up?
Man, years. You know, at least long enough for them to get return business. You know, you wanna keep your clients happy. you never know what's going to happen. And if you can step up to the plate and provide a session from a while back, you kind of get some points.
Okay. What about in this case where the defendant said that he had a crash?
And that's the exact same reason why you always want to do backups and keep things, because you never know what's going to happen. So, you know, it's unfortunate. It happens, but there's nothing you can do about it once it's gone.
What about transferring the files? Because the defendant said when he transferred the files, he saw that they were transferred to the external hard drive. Is there a way to check that before the plaintiffs, for example, were to take their external hard drive and leave the studio?
Well, you can open it up on that drive, but there is a common problem that engineers kind of like have. They think that you could just drag the folder over to the hard drive when you have to save it a certain way before you even drag it. And that allows for all of the files on the computer to be consolidated into a whole new folder. And you should do that before you move it to any hard drive anyway.
When the defendant said that he saw that the files were transferred to the hard drive, if you were in that position and you transfer files to a hard drive, would you do anything else besides give them that external hard drive before they left?
I would check to see if it opened up.
On their external hard drive?
Yeah.
And did you do that?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
Wouldn't it be prudent for you to want to double check before a client leaves, just to make sure everything's on their external hard drive? Do you do that every time?
Yeah.
You do?
You don't want to get a phone call afterwards after you left.
Which is exactly what happened in this case. Okay, thank you, Count Justice. I appreciate you being here today. Thank you. Did you read the contract?
Yes.
Before
yes.
and after you signed it? Did you read it before you came into court today?
Yes.
So you're familiar with the terms of the contract?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, because there's one term in this contract that I think applies more than anything to this case today. And you all signed it, you don't dispute that when you receive recorded media from the studio, it's an acknowledgement between both parties that the quality of the services rendered by the studio are satisfactory, and you release the studio from any and all liability regarding the recorded media and the services rendered. According to your contract, you've released the studio of all liability when you leave. Your counterclaim for defamation is dismissed. You have not proved that this diss track, even if it was about you, that it in any way affected your character. So your counterclaim for defamation is dismissed, but judgment in this case is for the defendant. Based on the contract, you have not proved that he breached the contract.
If he doesn't feel like he was wrong, then we can go our separate ways and do business elsewhere.
Before we came across this particular scenario, I felt like the work we did was great. You know, you live and you learn. I do apologize, but I'd be happy to work with them again.
Plaintiff James Moore says the defendant called off their wedding and is now refusing to return the engagement rings. He's suing for the return of engagement rings. Defendant Linda Shaw says she doesn't know because she tried to return the rings, but James refused to take them back. She's countersuing for payments made on the rings.
James Moore,
Yes, Your Honor.
you were suing the defendant Linda Shaw?
Yes, ma'am.
For $700, you say she owes you for the return of an engagement ring?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing for $200?
Yes, ma'am.
For payments you say you made on the rings?
Yes.
Okay. Take me to the beginning, sir. Tell me what happened. How did this love story start?
Well, Your Honor, I first met a defender, I think it was June 2015, without a pantry.
At a food pantry?
Yes, ma'am.
In St. Louis?
In St. Louis, yes,
Okay.
ma'am. And then I seen her there, and I said, I know you. She said, I know you too. So she gave me a piece of candy. And she said, I'm gonna go get my license renewed. Will you wait on me? I said, I'll wait on you.
Well, how long did you wait?
Maybe around about 3-4 hours.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, what kind of candy did she give you? Was it
whatever it was sweet though.
Okay.
But I helped her with a grocery up to her apartment, and we started talking. So I ended up spending the night with her. It was all good though. I spent the night with her.
So that's how it all started?
That's how it all started.
Ms. Shaw, what did you think of Mr. Moore?
I'd put it like this, Your Honor, he had a good game.
What do you mean by game?
Well, he knew all the right things to say.
Like what, for example?
He was very generous, and he was a gentleman.
Did you love him?
Not at that present time, I didn't. But my love grew on him.
She lied. She said yes when I first proposed to her.
No, I didn't.
Oh, the first time you proposed?
First time
No, I did
proposed
not.
to her, she said yes, and she fell in love with me the first time we got together.
Coming up on Judge Faith, breakup texts reveal the rest of the story.
You are too controlling for me. If things don't go your way, you want to get mean.
And said, R.E. is her new man.
Who is Ari?
Plaintiff James Moore says Linda broke off their engagement and won't return the rings. He's suing for the return of engagement rings. Defendant Linda Shaw says she owes nothing because James owes her money. She's countersuing for payments made on the rings.
Why did you decide later not to marry him?
Because he's so controlled. He's a control freak. He wants to try
Why
to...
are you moving your hand like that?
Because that's what he do. That's what he do. He run his mouth all the time. He run his mouth. He tries to tell me what to do. I've had a dad. I don't need another one.
I have a feeling no one can really tell you what to do, Miss Shaw. I have that impression that you have the things under control.
When I got my own mind, I can tell myself what to do because he don't take care of me. I take care of me.
So, Mr. Moore,
Ma'am.
what happened? We're here today because you proposed, obviously,
yes.
And you said you gave her a ring, but she kept the rings after the two of you broke up, and you want the money for the rings. Tell me about that.
I gave her an engagement ring and a lady wedding band.
Okay, do you have the receipts for those rings? May I see them, please? You bought 3 rings, so one was an engagement ring and then 2 wedding bands?
Yes, ma'am.
And she has all 3 of those?
No, he had one.
I got the man, she got the ladies.
Well, do you have the rings with you?
Yes.
May I see them, please? Okay, beautiful. So what happened? How did you propose? Tell me about the process of you getting these rings.
Well, she was still at the house. I said, I'm finna go get the rings out the pond. And I went down there and got them out the layaway. April the 29th, I came back and I got down on my knees, took the rings out, and I proposed to her.
Okay.
I said, will you marry me?
Why didn't you give the rings back?
Because I wanted my $200. I just didn't want to take a total loss.
You say you paid $200 towards these rings?
Yes, ma'am. I gave him some on the rings.
Is that
too.
true?
That's wrong.
I have proof that the plaintiff paid for the rings. I don't have proof that you paid $200 towards the rings, and I understand your reasoning, but there's no proof of that.
Your Honor, this right here is saying that I'm going to give your rings back to you. And then it said, R.E., all the yellow is the one that she texted me.
Okay, did you tell him you were going to give these rings back to him?
Yeah, well, if you give me my money back, I have to.
Is that what you say in the text
message? It ain't
message?
about no money on that.
Okay, that's not what you say in the text message, ma'am. You told him, I'm going to give you your rings back. You are too controlling for me. If things don't go your way, you want to get mean. You never mentioned anything about $200 or any money. All you say is you're going to give the rings back.
And it said, R.E. is her new man.
Who is Ari? That's just somebody you made up? Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you still in love with her?
Nope.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
I'm going to ask you, Mr. Moore, since I have the rings here today. So let me explain to you the law on this. So when you give someone a gift, it's theirs. They take ownership of it. It's their property. But there is one exception to this rule, and that is when it comes to engagement rings. Why? Because an engagement ring is a gift given in contemplation of marriage. That is the one exception to gifts by law, engagement rings. So you have a choice, Mr. Moore. Take the rings back or the amount that you're suing for. What do you prefer today?
I want the rings, John.
So Juan, I'm going to ask you to hand these rings over to Mr. Moore. Almost looks like Sierra's ring. If you look at it like from an angle, from the side.
Thank you.
So that's my judgment in this case, ma'am. Your case is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.